Hello and welcome to Healy Fit with your instructor, Jen. Today I have an intermediate Pilates practice for you, which is going to work your entire body as well as give you some stretch breaks along the way. All you'll need is a mat. Once you've got that in place, come on down. We're going to start in child's pose. Extend the arms out to the front. Sit the hips back towards the heels, knees out wide enough to accommodate your torso. Hinge back and breathe from fingertips all the way down your back. Feel your lungs rise up. As you settle into the stretch, maybe drop your forehead a little bit closer to your mat. Let's go ahead, walk the right hand back towards the right knee and slide towards the left side of your mat. Notice a little bit deeper stretch along the left side from pinky down to hip. Reach that right arm forward, slide the left hand back. Let's do the same thing, sliding over to the right a little bit. Feel that stretch along the right edge of the body from fingertips down to hips. Come on back into the center, rise up into all fours, and let's go through a few rounds of cat to cow. Drop the belly, lift the tailbone, and then drop the chin as you arch the back up to the sky. Feet can be relaxed down onto the floor, or you can curl your toes underneath of your heels, whatever feels right for you. As you release the belly to the mat, look up through the eyebrows towards the sky. As you arch the back up towards the sky, tuck the chin in, round across the shoulders. Good, a few more rounds, feeling that stretch into the back body. And then releasing to feel the stretch along the front of the body. All right, let's go into our bird dog next. So left arm, right leg, extending out and up. Release back down. A few more rounds coming up into your bird dog, trying to maintain balance and stability on the left and right side of the body. Equal pressure on the hand and on the knee. Continue to lift up and down. Good, reach and extend, fingertips to toes, and then release back down. Good, try to keep your core braced, belly button lifted up towards the spine. Pull everything in nice and tight. Reach and extend. Hold. And now pull your elbow in towards your knee. Good. So now we're starting to thread rib cage towards hips. Hips towards ribs. Elbow towards knee. And we've got that kneeling crunch right here. Imagine your hand is pulling on a 100-pound pulley and your ankle as well. Wrapped around 100-pound pulley, we pull that 200 pounds in and together, using both arm and leg to stretch and then crunch. As you bring the knee and elbow in together, scoop your belly in and up away from the floor. Good, just a few more. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale as you reach. And on your last one, we're going to bring that left arm down to the floor. Keep the right leg up and extend it. And we're just going to tap that foot down towards the floor and then lift up. Go ahead, tap down and up. Hard to see here, but left elbow down onto the floor, left forearm down, fingertips reaching towards the right hand. Right elbow is slightly bent and body is turned towards the right edge of your mat. Go ahead, lifting that leg up. Squeezing in through the glute and hamstring, and then releasing down nice and slow, keeping that control in the leg. Now we're going to fold heel towards hip and then extend the leg back out. As you fold, that 100-pound pulley is still attached to the ankle. You're going to pull, 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 using your hamstring and glute as you contract the heel towards the hip. Good, so utilizing mind-body connection to get the most musculature contraction along these exercises. Keep pulling, 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 and then extend out nice and long through the toes. Awesome. This next one, knee towards shoulder. I'm turning back every time I do, threading the shoulder towards the knee as I pull the knee towards the shoulder. Pull, pull, pull. And then reach and extend leg all the way back. Squeeze and reach. Awesome. Just a few more. And let it go. All right, sit back into your child's pose once again. Arms to the front, hips to the heels. You might want to rotate through your wrist, just to take some of the pressure out from leaning onto that right side. Same thing along the left. And then come back up into all fours. Let's go into a few more rounds of that cat to cow. Arching up into the back. And releasing the belly down towards the floor. All right, last one. Coming back into tabletop. Go ahead, extend. Right arm, left leg, lift, 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 lift. And release back down. Good, reaching fingertips and toes in opposite directions. Keep reaching, lifting, extending, and then releasing back down to the mat. Good, lift, 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 lift. Remember that core connection. We want to keep the belly button drawn in towards the spine. And we want to keep balance along the left and right side of the body. So even as you reach and extend, try to keep equal pressure hand and knee. Now let's bring it in, folding elbow towards knee, and then reaching and extending back out into that long extended position. Good, reach and contract, extend and release. Exhale as you draw to the midline. Inhale as you reach and extend. About halfway there. Let's do about 4 more. Reach. Exhale, pull in. All right. Let's bring that hand down, elbow down, kind of rotating the thigh a little bit. Lift and release. Good, lift. There I am. Hi, y'all. So good to join you today. Lift and release. Good, up and down. Feeling that work, outer glute, outer thigh. Trying to get length and extension all the way up to the hip. Now fold heel towards hip and then go back into that long extended position. Good. Hamstring contraction. Keeping elevation. So you'll see trying to keep that knee from dropping. So we're keeping the knee kind of the same line like it is propped up onto a table, and you're just folding your heel in towards your hip, contracting into those hamstrings. Awesome, last one. Extend, and now we're going to pull knee towards shoulder, and then extend all the way out and back. Good, fold along the outer obliques, and then reach and extend that leg long to the back of the room. Pull and extend. Fold and reach. Awesome, just a few more. And rest. All right, back into your child's pose, reaching forward. And then going into your wrist circles. Once you have your stability, go ahead, circle through the wrist, take any pressure out from being in that all fours position. And then Same thing on the other side, just circling into the wrist. Let's come back into all fours for a moment. Fingertips slightly pointed outward. Good splay from thumb to pinky. We're going to come down into almost a chaturanga style push-up. So we're keeping the hips up just a little bit, bringing the chin towards the mat. This is taking a little bit of the pressure out of the triceps, but we are pointing elbows to the back, pointing elbow pit to the front. So you're getting a nice, strong press into the triceps. Now let's come back into our child's pose. Hinge forward, drop the hips, and come down into our tricep push-up. Do that a few more times, giving yourself length and extension before you come into your push-up. Good. This is more of a chaturanga style push-up. You'll see my shoulders are around fingertip line, elbows lined up over wrists. This is really tough in through the shoulders and triceps, so if you need to back off, go back into those chaturanga style push-ups. Here we are in our 7-point stance, and now rising up into Sphinx. From Sphinx, elbows under shoulders, pull your chest through your shoulders. We're going to lift the thighs and then pull one heel at a time in towards the hip. Good, so we're using that same movement that we were using from all fours now onto our belly. And remember to keep your belly in and tight, navel pulled towards spine, so strong core connection. Heel towards hip, contract in through the hamstring. Heel towards hip, contract in through the hamstring. Good, trying to maintain stability in through the upper body as you contract through the lower body. Just a few more. Now let's go for both. Right, so squeeze those heels together in towards the hips and then extend the legs out together towards the outer edges of the mat. Fold in, squeeze, length and extension all the way out. Try to keep the toes from touching the mat. Just keep them lightly elevated. Flex in through the back of the thigh. Keeping the belly button pulled in so we still have our core connection that's going to help protect the low back in this backward bend. Awesome, let it go. Let's roll onto one side. One hand to top of foot, leaning into a quadricep stretch here, stretching out front of thigh. Don't worry, we will stretch out those hamstrings. Switch to the other side, heel towards hip. Knees together, rolling the shoulder back. Getting a little shoulder stretch here too, and stretch along the front of the body. All right, let's stretch those legs out to the front. Toes pointed, arms up to the sky. Exhale, fold, 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 fold. There we got into those hamstrings. Glutes to heels, lengthening along the backs of the legs, and then up into your lower and middle back. Good, so breathe all the way down into the low back, all the way up into the shoulders. Maybe as you get more comfy, you can reach the hands towards the heels. Make some movements in through the feet. Take any pressure out of the backs of the legs as you do. Next inhale, let's slowly stack the vertebrae, lift up nice and tall. Reach the hands out to the front and then pull the elbows back and down. Good, reach, 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 lift. And then draw the elbows in and down. Good, reach, long extension through the spine, and then pull scapula together, opening across the chest as you bring yourself back down. Good, pull, pull, pull. Reach and extend. Pull, elbows in and down. Reach and extend. Good, now every time you lean back, I want you to double check those abs. You're pulling the navel in towards the spine, keeping that core connection as you bring it in. Let's take it all the way down. Fingertips by the hips, toes pointed out to the sides, head lifted up nice and tall. We're going to take the leg up and then draw the heel down towards the floor. Good, right leg up, squeeze the heel down. Lift, 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 and then fold. Good, so use the quadricep on the way up, and then use the hamstrings on the way down. So front of thigh, back of thigh. Toes pointed on the way up, toes flexed on the way down. Good, so the whole leg working in concert together. Now instead of up and down, we're going to take it out and in. Cross the leg out to the side and then kind of sweep the leg inward using the abductors and the adductors. Good, so toes point on the way out, toes flex on the way in, and maybe cross over that other leg to really get a nice contraction in through the inner thigh. Just a few more, sweep out, and then pull, squeeze in. All right, let's cross leg over leg. Lift ourselves up from the mat. Reach out towards the toes and get that stretch along the hamstrings, glutes, and lower back again. You can also kind of fold your inner arches in towards you. That's going to give you a nice stretch along the outer edges of the ankles into your outer shins. Go ahead, bring your feet back in and together. Let's go again, fingertips reaching out, this time crossing towards the midline. Good, so left hand back, bring the elbow towards the mat, and twist your whole torso in that direction. Twisting left, reaching center, twisting right, reaching center. Good. Come across and up, across and lift. Continue, continue, continue. Doing about 8 on each side, so you're almost halfway there. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Almost there. And let's bring it all the way down. Fingertips by hips, elbows stacked under shoulders, head lifted, chest lifted, abs in. Let's bring that left leg up and down. Good, toes pointed up to the sky. Heel pulls towards the mat. Lift and extend. Fold and squeeze. A few more. Lift, feel that stretch into the back of the thigh, and then use the back of the thigh to pull the leg back down towards the floor. Awesome. Now let's take it out to the side and then back in, cross over. Good. Out, 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 out. Back in and across. Let's do that 4 more times. Reach and squeeze. 3. Pull in. 2. Fold across. 1. And keep those ankles crossed over one another. Lift yourself up from the mat. Reach towards the outer edges of the feet. Maybe pull the arches towards you to get that stretch along the outer sides of the ankles, all the way up into the outer edges of the calf. One more deep breath here, and then we will uncross the ankles again. Go ahead, bring your right knee in towards you. Let's circle through the hip a few times. Down onto your mat, right hand around the right knee. Circling, circling, circling. Let's bring it the other direction. And going to the left side. Circle that knee around. And other direction. Awesome. Fold your stomach in. Pull your shoulders down. Rib cage towards hips. We're going to lift the right leg up, out to the side, down, and back up. Single leg circle with straight leg. So I have a bit of a big curvature into the lower back. So I have my left knee bent, but you are welcome to straighten it out if that feels okay for your low back as you do these single leg circles. We're going to take the single leg circles around the other way. Good, core braced and anchored down towards the floor. A little bit of a faster downward swing, and then a slower circle around the top edge. And relax. Right foot down to the floor, left leg up to the sky. Let's circle that leg down, around, in, and up. Good, out, in, and up. Four more in this direction. Sweep out, in, and up. 3, 2, 1, and reverse. Good, taking your circles around the other direction. Feel that length all the way from toes down to hip. All right, let's go ahead. Bring both legs all the way up to the sky, alternating your circles, heel to heel together. Squeeze the backs of the upper inner thighs, a little bit less range of motion. Sweep the legs down, around, and up. Sweep the legs down, around, and up. Awesome. Now the legs are moving together as one, squeezing the backs of the upper inner thighs, heel to heel together like steel. Awesome. Almost there. And relax. Knees in towards you. Wrap your hands around your shins or around your thighs. Stretch into the lower back. Now let's go ahead into some hip bridge work. Heels in close to hips. Draw your hips up to the sky. Squeeze in through the glutes, in through the hamstrings. Brace into the belly. And slowly articulate bone by bone back down to your mat. Good, so you want to peel up from the tailbone all the way mid-shoulders, and then release back down, shoulders to tailbone. Good, peel yourself up, lift. Chin is lifted, lengthening along the neck. Head is pressed into the back edge of the mat. Good, feel that pressure as you drive through the heels. Squeeze in through the glutes and into the hamstrings. Again, focusing on that back of thigh and glute region. Now this one, we're going to raise the heels and release. Staying elevated into your bridge, lift the heels up and then release, working in through your calves. Good, drive through the ball of the foot as you lift the heel. Keep your fingertips reaching out towards those heels. Keep your hips as high as feels right for you. And again, length along the neck, brace into the core. Now from this elevated position, we're shifting the hips one side to the other. Now this hip shift side to side is just a light lift one side and a light drop to the other. Trying to keep the heels elevated. This is kind of like if you imagine your high heel walk where you're really kind of babooming your hips, and that is totally a descriptive word, baboom. Baboom, 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 to each side. You are really working those hips, those glutes, getting into the outer edges. You should feel this one a little bit in through those outer obliques, and then into our affectionately termed love muffin, the top edge of the hip, working up in through these obliques. Now lift up a little bit higher. Heels are still up. We're squeezing the thighs in and then opening them out. Squeeze in and out. Belly in, push outward, and then squeeze inward. Open, 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 and squeeze back in. Good. Open, 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 and squeeze. Open and squeeze. Awesome. Feel that work in through the outer glute, outer thigh. And then just like you are Suzanne Summers with your thigh master, you are squeezing those knees in nice and close, 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 close. And releasing the hips back down to the floor. Knees into the chest, wrap arms around legs, and gently rock side to side. Awesome. Legs up to the sky. Stretch in through the backs of the legs. Toes point and flex as you stretch along the hamstrings. Your hands can be up around your calves or down towards your thighs, whatever feels best for you. Here, bend the knees, hands onto the shins, tuck your nose in towards your knees, scoop your belly in and down away from your thighs, rock back, and then up. Good, rolling like a ball. Good, keep everything nice and tucked in. Almost there, just a few more. Nice massage into the back body. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Awesome. Release your hands. Extend the legs out and then pull them in. Good. Extend, 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 extend into your V-sit. Crunch back into your knees bent. Just a few more. We are in the home stretch. I promise. I promise. You are doing so magnificently. Just 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. Let's tuck it in. Bring those feet all the way to the floor. Release one leg. All right, so we're going to cross right leg over top of left. Turn over toward that right side. Y'all, we made it. We made it. Another class in the works has been completed. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Let's stretch out those obliques, outer thighs, glutes, all those hard-working muscles. As you release, right leg back to the floor, left leg crosses over top of right. Turn your whole body over towards the left side. Feel that stretch, outer thigh, glute, back, obliques, shoulders, all the way up into the chest. Back into the center. Bottoms of the feet come in together into your bound angle. Hands around the toes. Drop the knees towards the mat to your level, your edge, wherever you feel the stretch, but you don't feel any pain or strain. Let's go ahead, take the right leg out, left leg out, reach out to the right, left arm over in that direction as well. This is your yoga gate pose. Go ahead, feeling the stretch along the outer left edge of the body. Let's do the same over to the left. Reach the right arm up and over towards the toes, lengthening from hip all the way out to fingertips. That feels so good after all that hard work. Go ahead, bring it in. Let's reach all the way up to the sky, whatever seated pose you like. Exhale, arms around to the front, stretch into the shoulders, into the back, add a little wiggle, wiggle there. And then pull both arms back beside you, spirit fingers, because you can. Now you're gonna bring it all the way in for a big hug. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Take care, be well, and I'll see you next time.